What did putting in the work mean to you guys at the start of your careers?
I feel like at the start of the career, if we're talking like really young, putting in work was really different. Yeah. Obviously, because we didn't have like access to the extra gym times and whatever, but it was like, you know, you got to go do like weightlifting occasionally, or, you know, you got to be in the SST, like off-court stuff and like the extra running. But it also meant like being really good in school when you're young and doing like the academic aspect of things. And then as I got older, it was about understanding the difference between putting in work to the point where I'm going to be burnt out and then putting in work where I'm working smart, right? Having goals and setting those before getting into like, I'm not going to the gym for 5 hours. But if I make 250 shots in 15 minutes, I did something. Right. That's my goal. Yeah. What about you?
I think the same thing for me. I think when I was younger, I was like, how many hours can I put in the gym? Like if I'm not the last one in and if I'm not the first one in, like I didn't do my job. And then as I grow older, obviously I'm not like super old, but I see the wear and tear that it happens on my body. And I realize that efficient work is the best work. So for me, definitely changed from when I first started to now.
I would say the same thing. Like when you're younger, you're so eager to like get everything done because you have such a huge drive for the game. And you're like, this is what I'm seeing other people do that I look up to. This is what my family's telling me to do. But then there's also that like social aspect, like, you know, I want to go to the sleepover instead of, you know, putting in the work. But as you grew older, you're like shifting your mindset to like a tunnel vision of what you really need to be focused on. So.
At what point did you realize that pushing harder or working harder didn't always lead to faster, quicker results?
I think for me in high school, I went through some knee injuries, and it was because I was just not valuing, you know, my time as a person. Like I was putting so much into the sport where I wasn't focusing on other things like nutrition, stretching, prep work before practice. So I was just, you know, not focused on what it really takes to be an athlete. And sometimes that's just taking a rest. Sometimes that's doing things that are outside of basketball. So I think very early on, I learned that, you know, pushing hard isn't always the best thing to get the best results.
How about you?
I think honestly, it was the first time I was a part of the senior women's national team. It was probably like 16 or so. I was just so eager to like be a great young player for my vets or be a great young player for my coaches that I was like willing to do anything, go into every rep, go
like,
shoot.
go.
Yeah, and you guys are willing to be like, yeah. No, I was just ready to do anything, but I feel like we had the 2-a-days and it was the in-between where I'm like, I'm sore. Yeah. Like I'm doing a bit too much. I gotta think smarter. I think I relied on you guys a lot just to be like, you know, tame it down a little bit and really work on what we talked about earlier, being effective in a short period of time. Yeah, I would say that's the time period where I kind of learned, you know, I got to calm down a little bit, not too much.
Yeah, I think we're in a different era now, right? We're in the era of social media and being able to have so much information about other athletes and how they do things. And so when we were growing up, probably I'm a couple years older than you, not that many years older than you, but when we were growing up, you know, we didn't necessarily get to see on a day-to-day basis, like the vlogs that you guys both do and put up and be able to show the young kids how it's done. And so we were just like, all right, this person is super successful and all they do is live in the gym. And so I'm just gonna live in the gym. That's gonna be my entire identity. And as you get older, you start to learn that in order for you to play for a really long time, right? To be a Diana Taurasi or a Sue Bird who have played for 20 plus years in the WNBA, you have to be able to do little intricate things that give you longevity. And so I think that was a big piece of it for my career, was just understanding like 30-minute warm-up, you got to do a 30-minute warm-up, right? I also had a knee surgery and the ACL tear. And so I learned the importance of sleep in that and how sleep affected the recovery process of coming back. And so just the little things, it took when you're young, you can recover. You can eat whatever you want. Nothing hurts. Like you can play 3 games a day. Like remember when we were doing that?
Good times.
Now we play 1 game a day and we're like, we can't do it back to back. So yeah, it takes your body getting used to it.
Who changed your perspective on sleep, and when did it start becoming part of your game plan?
My mom actually was the person who really told me how important and taught me how important it is to sleep and to rest. I remember being a youngin', I was like, why am I going to bed so early? And also, why am I waking up before the sun rises? It just didn't make sense to me. But those are the moments that really shaped the player I am today in terms of balancing and maintaining the importance of getting what I need to get done on the court, but also off the court, rest. Especially going through elementary school, I woke up early, I had early practices. I woke up early to do my homework as well. So making sure I got optimal sleep
academic.
was, I know, I was a little nerd too. I was a little nerd. But it's funny now that I'm a pro, I feel like my mom still calls me, is like, oh, Leah, like, how'd you sleep? How's your rest? And I'm like, you know, it was okay, but you know, it wasn't in my Endy bed. Every time I'm traveling, I'm like, I need that Endy bed. But yeah, she's really pivotal for me, just kind of realizing what I need to have my priorities on in terms of my body.
I think mine was more of a what than a who college, you know, like we all went to very high level, two of us together,
Yeah.
Go Huskies, but we all went to high level schools, right? And there was a lot of time management that you had to learn at a really young age. You go to class, you either have early morning workouts, you've got probably long practices, then there's the travel schedule as well. And so I think it really just understood the importance of sleeping because I didn't want to be tired for the next day to do things. And then it was later in my professional career when I was traveling from Hamilton to Toronto in my off season every day, which is an hour drive. I'm trying to avoid rush hours. So I'm like, I'm going to do 6 a.m. workouts. I'm going to get up at 5, go, be done by 11 and have a day. And realistically for me, I don't go to bed at 9. I go to bed at like 10 or 11. I start reading at 9. And then if it's a good book, we're just going to stay up till we finish it.
Right.
So it wasn't realistic. So now I'm like, I have to do my workouts at 10. I have to move them closer to home and do them at 10 and wake up at 8 because I know that's the most sleep that I'm going to get and that's my sleep window. So just understanding efficiency for yourself individually as well.
I think for me as well, I had an 8 o'clock bedtime. Like by 8 o'clock, if you're not upstairs, like you're getting that look. So yeah, I'm telling you. So for me, I was always a sleeper. I love sleeping. But for me, I also realized that there's other ways to recover other than sleep. Like if I can sit on my bed, relax, you know, read a book, scroll on social media a little bit, like that's a good way for me to recover as well. Just like shut my mind off, be at peace, be comfortable. So, you know, with our busy schedules, you got to find ways to just simply try to tune out the world and relax. So sleeping, for sure. I love my 12-hour sleep. People can't do it.
I wish. Can you guys feel the difference after a great night's sleep in your game?
Yeah. Like, absolutely. I wake up and I'm ready to go. We have shoot arounds in the morning. If it's an afternoon game and it's a great night's sleep, don't even get me started. I'm going to hoop. Like I'm going to be so good that day. But yeah, when you wake up in the morning and you're ready to go. I walk the dog. I eat my breakfast. I go to my shoot around and I'm like, yeah, I know the scout, you know, like I'm in video and I'm like, I knew that play was coming. Just little things, but you can definitely feel the confidence in it. But I know I'm also going to take a nap. I might have a good sleep on a game day. I'm still going to nap in the middle of the day. That bed gets me ready for all games.
Are you a game day napper too?
I'm not a napper. Honestly, I feel like if I get my 12 hours of sleep that night, I think I'm pretty set for the day. Yeah.
You don't have a debt. Yeah, you're good.
Yeah, I don't have a sleep debt by then, hopefully not. So yeah, I think for me, resting is super important because you can tell for me if I didn't get my beauty rest. So getting that beauty rest the night before, feeling refreshed in the morning, even if it's a 6 a.m., I feel like if I get that 12 hours, you know, try to sleep a little earlier, I feel refreshed in the morning.
I think same with me, like as soon as I come into the facility or come into the gym, like you could just tell from my energy if I slept good or not. Because if I didn't, then yeah, I had to take the game day nap or just like fuel my body in other different ways. Yeah. But no, I definitely, I feel like from even pre-game, when we get like that 15-minute window of doing our own individual shots, like if things are flowing, I'm like, yep, that sleep was good last night. I have a question though. When we have like a late game, how long does it take you to like wind down before you can actually like fall asleep? Like a 7 o'clock game, 7:30.
7 o'clock to 8:30 games, I'm done. I'm awake till 2. Like I lay in that bed and try to stare at the ceiling. Sleep will come when it comes.
It's pretty easy for me. I'm not gonna lie. Like I said,
She's
I'm a
12 hours.
sleeper.
She's done.
I mean,
Yeah, as soon as I get
What's your
home,
routine
all
at this
right,
point?
time to go to bed.
Wow, no, I'm like wired. My
Her best friend is an
adrenaline's still
Endy.
pumping.
Like her and the Endy, they just be living their
You
best
go
life
together
together.
with that.
Yeah, understandable.